Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself and your business quickly?
Yes.
Just a little rundown?
Yes, so I'm Pauline from Simply Home Downsizing. We offer a variety of services: downsizing, decluttering, packing, move management, unpacking, organizing, downsizing, and staging, and estate clearing.
Clearing. Okay.
Estate clearing.
Estate clearing. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So what made you start the business? Was there a certain moment that kind of inspired you?
I would say that throughout my whole life, I've been very organized, and I find organizing is sort of a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to apply that to a business.
Well, I guess it worked out well for you, huh?
Yes.
What's the most common thing that people underestimate about downsizing?
I would say that people have more items than they think, and also that downsizing takes a lot longer than they think it would.
For someone who hasn't heard the term downsizing, I guess, what does it really mean?
So I feel that downsizing is shifting from a larger home to a smaller home.
What might that look like? How does someone know if they maybe need to downsize? Like, what does your typical client look like, or what are they going through?
Right. There's a variety of reasons why somebody might consider downsizing. It could be a case that they are now an empty nester, so their children have grown up and have left the home, and now they're living in a large home and it's quite empty and they're not using all the space, so they feel like they can downsize to a smaller home. It may be a case of they're retired and they want to do a lot of traveling. So if you're living in a house, you've got a lot of responsibilities. You have to shovel the snow, you have to cut the lawn, there's maintenance to consider. And if you want to, say, go traveling for 6 months of the year, you're way better off perhaps having a condo where you can just lock the door and walk away. Another reason is for health reasons. So as we age, your mobility may decline and you may not be able to use the stairs in your home. So now you need to consider perhaps getting a smaller home or a condo that's only one floor. So there's a variety of reasons why people may decide to downsize.
What does a full end-to-end project look like for one of those scenarios?
Right. So every project is different.
Yeah.
But it could look like if someone has decided to downsize to a smaller space and to put their home up for sale, a lot of times we will need to do a full declutter and a stage. So we would go in and help them make decisions about what they'd like to keep, what they'd like to donate, and then items that are in the home that we do not need for staging, we will pack up and then we'll move them to XYZ Storage just for a couple of months. And then once the house is cleared out, we would stage. And then once the home is sold, then we would pack up everything else in their home, move it to their new home, unpack and organize them, and then take the items that are still at XYZ and move them to their new home and do the same process again, unpack and organize those items.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Yeah.
Very convenient. Going off of that, I guess, is there one room you always tackle first, and why?
Right, so that's a really good question. So generally we like to start in either the basement or the garage, because we find basements and garages, that's where items go and they never come out.
Okay.
So items that people hardly ever use, they put in the basement, they put in the garage. So we start there. And also it's easy decision making for them, because they'll look at those items and say, I haven't touched that in 30 years. Okay, I can donate that.
Is there one category everyone has way too much of?
I would say sometimes books. People are very attached to their books. And I joke with clients about vases. I go into people's homes and on average, people have anywhere between 6 and 18 vases in their home. So I joke with clients about that.
Yeah. I remember, I guess I told you earlier, but I grabbed a ton of vases this weekend from a neighbor's house. She was trying to downsize and
she loved them.
out.
You took them, right?
Yes. No, she loved it. She was like begging us to come over, and she's like, please take anything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. She even had Beanie Babies and all those things, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So at what point in the downsizing process does storage usually come into the picture?
So storage usually comes into the picture if we are staging the home. So that we need to clear out maybe 50% of the items in their home, including some furniture pieces. And sometimes it's a case of where we're clearing out the entire home in order to do a stage. So we'll be moving furniture and packing boxes and moving all those items to XYZ for storage just for a couple of months. And then we have a clean slate and we can go in and stage with furniture, accessories, artwork, decor.
So what do you use storage for your business?
So we use XYZ to store our packing supplies and our organizing supplies.
How does having access to a storage unit change the experience for your clients, and does it take pressure off of them?
Yes, so the fact that we can pack up, say, the majority of the items in their home, or 30-40% of the items, and move it into XYZ Storage, and then they come back to their home and they have a clean slate, they can breathe, they understand that the next step in the process has arrived, and it's a big relief for them. And I actually have a little story about what happened to one of my clients.
Tell me.
Is that we were going to be staging, so we packed up a lot of items. We helped her make decisions. She did donate some items, but a lot of items she wanted to keep to move to her new home. So we packed it up, we moved it to XYZ, we staged her home, and then 2 months later, it was time for her to move to her new home. When she went back to XYZ and opened up that storage unit, she said, I don't need these items. I've lived without them for 2 months. And I can downsize even further.
Yeah.
And she was thrilled to be able to do that.
So when did your company start storing with XYZ?
We started storing here, I'm going to say about 5 or 6 years ago.
It's been a while, I guess, almost when we kind of opened the location.
Yes.
What makes you feel confident referring your clients to XYZ and using us?
So I know, I love, XYZ Storage because it's clean, it's climate controlled, and I love the drive-through and the loading docks. And as well, the staff are so helpful. So we just love being here.
I'm glad to hear that. I guess, so you've probably come across Precious
a
couple of times.
Yes.
All right. Is there a final piece of advice for anyone listening who knows that they probably should start or look into downsizing but haven't?
Right. So I guess I have a few pieces of advice. I would say get started earlier than you think you need to. Start looking around your home. What items do I not use? Do I not need anymore? And then also I would say ask family and friends to come and help you with the process. A lot of people don't like to ask for help, but if you do, people will put up their hands and say, yes, I want to help you.
Yeah.
And you can invite your family and friends over and say, is there anything in my home that you would like to have for yourself?
I bet you'll have a lot of takers if you do that.
Yes.
So where can people find you and reach out if they need help?
You can find Simply Home Downsizing on Google. And there you can find our website. We're on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for doing this today. It was great to get to know the business and get to know you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Of course.